Hey everyone, I'm Martin, and there's Shelley down there. She's in the golf cart. We're getting ready to go up and do our daily garden run and pick stuff up there. But before we get started on that, we're getting ready to start a whole new series, and it's going to be geared towards starting a project and following it through all the way to the end. And if you've been following our homestead journey, you know that we bought this place as raw land. We built a cabin down here right there. We built a shed for housing all of our solar plant stuff. And I have been working for 3 months trying to get this installed, which is the cabling that goes from the new panel set up at the garden down here to the shed. And today we're going to get that done, I think. But anyway, first things first, we're going to go to the garden, and I'm going to fill you in on kind of this new series that we're going to do, because we're getting ready to start the biggest project on the place that we've done so far. And we want to kind of invite you to go along with that, because it's going to be a long step-by-step process. And I think that you'll kind of learn how to start and accomplish a big project while we do this. So anyway, stick with us. We're getting ready to get started. All right, so here we are up in the garden, and we want to start this week. This is week number 148 down here on the property. She thinks it's funny. I think it's a good way to mark the time that we've spent down here doing all of the things that we've done. We're at the end of July. 2 months from now, at the end of September, we will have been on this property. We closed on this property 3 years ago at the end of September. So we're coming up on our 3rd anniversary down here. And we're getting ready to start building our house. Okay, so that's going to be a long drawn out process, because we're in our 60s. We've committed to do everything down here on the property ourselves. How has that felt, and how has that worked out?
Some days I wish we could go faster, but there's days where we just need to take a break because there's a lot involved.
Yeah, and so when you're thinking about starting a journey like this, especially if you're kind of the age that we are, you really have to pace yourselves and plan things out a little at a time. And when you start a big project, it can be very, very overwhelming to you, just the thought of all of the things that you have to do. I was awake about 4 hours last night in the middle of the night thinking of what it's going to take to get a foundation and a basement in this rocky ground down here in southwest Missouri. And so that's just a very small part of what it's like when you start thinking about the whole big project. And so as we get ready to start building this house, we want to, and it's not going to be a huge house, probably less than 1,000 square feet, but it will be sufficient for us. And we're going to start out, we're going to kind of redefine the way we're doing our Sunday videos. I'm going to title them Everyday Counts, because every day counts towards achieving your goal. So if your goal is to move onto a piece of land, especially if it's on a piece of raw land, there's so many things that need to be done that you just have to really be prepared to make every day count in some way, whether it's big or whether it's little. Every day needs to count. So when you start thinking about a big project, a big move, a big change, you have to find ways to break that down into small bite-sized pieces and make every day count some way. And you had something you were wanting to say on that?
Yeah, so adjusting to your plan is okay too, because I know with us, when we bought this place, we didn't know how the water flow would go. We didn't know how far we were going to take our house. We kind of had an idea where we wanted to put it, but we adjusted to it. So you have to do them adjustments too, and then formulate your plan.
Yep.
And then work it.
Yeah, so anyway, if you have not done so already, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you'll be able to get all of the updates. And we're going to you know, kind of show a day-by-day process. Each week we're going to upload kind of a compilation of what we did that week each day, and so you can see just the process that it goes through. And as we're doing things like whether it's laying block or doing plumbing or whatever it is, we're going to show those things and highlight those things as we come to them. So that way you might learn something along the way too. We don't know a lot, but we know how to build a house.
Yeah.
So.
I might be getting up on the excavator and...
Yeah, we're going to put her on. Actually, I'm going to put her on the backhoe today.
Oh, the backhoe.
So when we get down there, but we're planning on bringing an excavator in here to start digging the hole for the...
Let me tell you something.
She has something to say again.
I didn't know how to do the backhoe until I got up there and did the backhoe. And I'm telling you, if you have the right attitude that you can learn, anybody can do the backhoe. At first, I was very scared, didn't know what to do, what to think, and I was very slow. But now I'm better at it.
All right, so we're going to start with the garden here today. Just get some things picked that needs to be picked, and we're going to go down and start finishing. We're going to bury the rest of that cable from the solar panels on down to the shed down there where all of our solar plant stuff is. So anyway, stick with us.
And just want to encourage you, you can do this too.
Yeah, it's not rocket science.
You bet. Here we are again. Of course, the okra is growing all the time. So we harvest our garden every other day and sometimes every day, depending upon how fast things are growing. But as you see here, I'll be working on the garden for a while. I think you're going to be watering today?
I'm gonna water
all right.
To start with.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's beans and okra underneath all of that. Yep. All right.
Oh, gee. Looks like Martin's been in the bean field. Hold on, honey. Let me get it.
All right, in here, get a big saw because something happened to it when we were clearing the garden up. I need to take it to the shop and figure it out. Okay, here we are at the saw shop. Of all of my saws, this has been the one that's been probably taken care of the best.
Gotcha.
All right. And we were cutting with it a couple of months ago, and it made a pop almost like what you would describe as like a backfire, although I've never heard of chainsaw backfire before.
Sure.
When I went to try to start it again, it had no compression. Okay, is what it felt like. And this thing has got super high compression.
Sure.
So I have no idea. I understand it could be anywhere from something simple to something catastrophic.
Absolutely.
And I get that. So I guess just
give you a look over. And work you
give
up,
it a diagnosis. Give it a diagnosis and see.
So what we'll do is we'll put it in as an estimate. We'll run through it, look at everything, tell you exactly what it needs before we put any pen to paper.
Right.
And then you can decide at that point. If you decide not to fix it, it's a $25 estimate.
Yeah, that's fine.
Absolutely.
That's perfect. Yeah. All right, now we got to go on to the plumbing place and get our things for the cabin down there, which is right here. You're hiding out in the back, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Sure.
So we do YouTube channels, everything from building tree houses to the ups and downs of all the things that can go wrong living back in the woods. Do you mind if I leave the camera rolling while I'm picking the stuff up?
No, I don't care.
All right, perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And I've probably got a couple of things to add to that. Nothing real big, but you've got right now the manhole, the cover, and the hydrant.
Hydrant, yes, sir.
Okay, does that hydrant have an elbow on the bottom of it?
No, do you want
Okay,
one?
I'll need an elbow and then something to transition to a 3/4 inch CTS type of a PEX T. Or not a T, just a...
No, okay,
I need to do the elbow.
you'll come with me.
Okay. Need a 1-inch ball valve and then a couple of crimps for that. And probably a test plug as well.
1 inch,
1-inch test plug, yeah. Then we'll just need the galvanized street
right,
L. Okay.
screw into that.
That will go into that. And then the
This is
CTS.
Yep, and then your CTS will go in there, that's
Alright.
your insert.
Okay. That'll work. I think that'll be it for now. Do you have any double breakers where you've got just the breaker with the 2 switches on it? For like 15 and 20 amp.
Oh, like a little twin?
Like a, yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I need one of those that'll fit that
In
Eaton.
a 20?
In a 20 and one of them in a 15. Well, I'm glad I saw that sitting there. Okay, this. I guess this was the right.
Yes.
That one right there, okay. I'll get that.
Cut a piece yesterday, rolled it over here, put that lid just dropped right through the bottom.
Is that right? What was it?
Pitch, I cut 30 inch. I'd cut 30
Oh,
inch
30 inch
instead
pipe.
of 24.
Well, I don't know if I would have needed a 30-inch
I was
one.
like, man, I never do that. I always measure my pipe before I cut it. And I did yesterday.
All right. Well, thanks a bunch.
Thanks, Martin.
Well, I was on my way home and they called me and said they got it fixed. So that was amazing. We're going to go in there and see what this is all about. I already know. Hey, do you guys have a chain the size that'll fit that?
I'm sure we do.
Yeah, I'll maybe get another chain. Well, I told you that thing had a lot of compression, but I had no idea it had enough to blow the spark plug out of the hole. You know, back in my younger, more stubborn and broke days, I would have probably tried to tear it apart to figure it out myself, but I just don't have the patience for it anymore.
3860, 384.
You know, if it was something, it makes perfect sense. I mean, that's exactly what you'd expect if that happened, but it's not like, you know, oh yeah, they blow plugs out of the hole all the time. So.
Yeah, that was crazy.
beautiful day.
So you're going up by where you got those peppers?
I can go there
Yeah.
with Marin.
Well, if they've got them on sale like they did last time, get as many as you can get.
Okay.
We'll find something to do with them. The cable is buried in that ditch there. Shelley's getting ready to cover up the ditch. And I'm not having her do the ditch because it's just more work. She just likes driving the tractor, so she's going to bury the ditch. But down here, I'm in the shed where the cables come in. And as you may remember, we've got 2 sets of panels up there in the garden, and so I've got one pair that comes in here, another pair that comes in here. And I'm relatively certain that this pair goes to one panel and this pair goes to the other panel. But in pulling the wires, I can't absolutely guarantee with 100% certainty that I didn't get these crossed up at some point along the line. So what I'm going to do is, and you can't have like one wire from one set of panels going with one of the wires from the other set of panels. It just won't work. So I'm going to double check and test these just to make sure that they are pairs that go to specific panel sets up the hill. How I'm going to do that is with this tool. This is a multimeter, and one of the things that it does is it tests ohms. And if you're not familiar with that, ohms is nothing more than a measure of resistance in a wire. And so you have to have a complete circuit in order to measure the ohms. And I really don't care what the ohms read. What I'm really after is that I've got a complete circuit. I'm getting a reading up here. So I know that these 2 wires, this set that goes to this set of panels, is the same ones that I stripped and connected together down at the other end. That means there's resistance. That means this is the pair. It's going to be like 100 degrees outside today, so I'm down here real early working on this. And then I'm going to go back inside where it's nice and cool. But we got the first set hooked up yesterday, and they work perfect. I mean, the instant I plugged the last 2 plugs together, the inverter instantly came up showing that there was an in-feed of power from the solar panels. And so that was excellent. That worked out great. Oh, hey, Adrian, what's up?
Hey, Dad. Oh, not a whole lot. Just finishing up some coffee and gonna head down to the boat soon.
Okay, so you're at home yet?
Yeah.
Not at the boat.
No, not yet.
Mike happened to be around there?
No, he's working.
He's already gone? Okay. Well, got a question for you. Do you remember Jeremy Bradford?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, I talked to him a while back about possibly making a run down there to pick up and haul the batteries up here.
Uh-huh.
And he's kind of possibly willing to do that. But I couldn't remember how many there was or what their weight was. It seems like they're about 130 pounds a piece, if I remember what Mike said. And then, but I couldn't remember how many. Are there 24 of them?
I think so. I'm pretty sure that was the number. Mike and I used 3 of them on our boat, but we're planning on buying 3 more just to replace the ones that we use. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, if it's too much weight, like, we can, still bring some of them down with us when we go. I don't think we can bring the whole entire stack.
Right, no, that's going to be a pretty heavy bunch of weight. He is a fanatic for fishing. And
I know, I saw that. I'm his friend on Facebook, and I see some of his stuff he catches.
Well, he might work a little bit of a deal out with us if he's has the opportunity to head out on the boat for a weekend with you guys.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Do you think that would work?
Yeah, that would work.
Okay, I mean, if that works, I mean, it'd be a way to get him up here. Our trip down there was just going to be, 2 days down, probably a day there to get them all loaded up and all of that, and then 2 days back. So we weren't going to end up spending a lot of time there. But find out from him. I mean, that might be a quick and easy way that neither one of us have to mess with them.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. All
yeah,
right.
I saw Jeremy at like his fish and stuff, and I even thought, you know, if he was ever down this way, that we'd invite him out on our boat anyways.
Yeah.
Because I saw that he, you know, likes to do that kind of stuff.
Well, he saw the video of all the sharks we were catching and was
Yeah.
drooling over that. So.
That's funny. Well, if he wants to catch a shark, we can catch those all day long.
Is that right? Well, if you put him on an 8-foot shark, yeah, he would be in heaven.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's about 100 degrees outside, and today we are going to be working on some of our produce that we have got. We got tomatoes, okra, and a bunch of beans. We're gonna freeze dry some and get some cut up ready to go.
Okay, these are going to be frozen. We got a bunch of Romas here, and we got a bunch more Romas already in the freezer, and we'll just freeze those solid and whole the way they are. And when we thaw them out to use them, we'll just run them under warm water for just a few seconds, and the skins will slip right off of there. We do have a couple of them that has some bad spots. That one has, you can see that, and we're going to cut some bad spots off of these and then freeze them. Just quarter them up and freeze them so they will eventually become ketchup or salsa or tomato sauce. Okay, so the next thing we're doing is we're taking these small, that are about the size of ping pong balls, these tomatoes, and then we'll do some cherry tomatoes this way too. But we're slicing them up to about 1/4 of an inch thick or so, and they will be going into the freeze dryer. And before we send them in there, we've been putting garlic salt on them, and they come out and are absolutely delicious. Anything that we have laying around gets eaten in a matter of hours.
We got 6 trays of tomatoes that is going in our freeze dryer tonight.
Well, I thought we had 6 trays of tomatoes, but we have 5 trays of tomatoes and 1 tray of zucchini. Smell the pizza flavored one.
These are
Pizza.
no, yeah, these are pizzas, zucchini. This is taco, garlic, garlic, garlic.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so it is now about 9:30 on, what is today? Thursday.
Thursday.
And we're going to go to bed.
Okay. Okay, last night we put in our trays. I was gonna let you guys see what it's at. There's the drying time. It's got quite a bit. Probably tomorrow we'll be ready. It's always hot on that Jeep, so it brews up fast. We are gonna be canning beans today, so I'm gonna get a few more of these beans that are around. I thought I got them all, but they grow like weeds around here. Let me show you some over here too. They're just everywhere, so I better pick them.
We have our green bean factory going on today. It's Friday. Still hot outside, so we're doing some indoor stuff.
Gotta heat up the jars first. This one's done, and you fill it with hot water and a teaspoon of salt.
Now the thing about these is we just can't hardly leave them alone.
I can't leave this one alone. Pizza
Flavors on that.
Zucchini. Which one do you like?
I like both. I mean, we've got taco flavor on one of them and garlic salt on the other one. And I think they're both really good.
Mm-hmm. These don't last very long.
All right, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, that we're getting ready to start our house building project down here, and it's still going to be about 2-3 weeks away. But what we're really trying to do is get a lot of loose ends wrapped up between now and then, and we're just going to do it as a making every day count kind of a process. And every day you can see that there's things that we're doing that have to be done before we can really get started on the next big thing. What all did we get done this week?
Absolutely. Well, I finished burying the cable, and you were kind of connecting wires and things. And we were doing food preservation, green beans and
a lot of that.
Tomatoes in the freeze dryer.
I took my chainsaw in to see why it was not working, and it got fixed.
Yeah.
So we can cut up this big tree here to bury that cable that goes down there.
Yep.
So, yeah, a lot of things happened, and when we get started on on next week, we're going to take you out and kind of walk around the place where the house is going to be built, and we're going to build some interesting things there, including a storm shelter and a, what would you call it, a root cellar, I guess, kind of.
Root cellar.
Yeah. So, anyway, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like and a share, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell. See you next time.